Hello everyone, my name is Aini Ikaw and today I'm going to talk about discovering your life's true calling. When I watched the short talk rendered by Miss Luz Sabrina Ongkiko, I was so inspired and amazed by her message, especially that she highlighted three important key points in her message, which are the purpose, the context, and belief. I actually got stuck with the word purpose. Personally, because it took me back to the time where I was still in high school, in middle school in particular. I had everything planned out. I'm going to take nursing or nutrition and dietetics in the future as my profession. So I took STEM strand and I graduated. However, things got out of control. I was told that I wouldn't be able to do it because of some circumstances. So I got frustrated. I was so upset and somehow stressed because that was a long plan that I had. And that confused me of what is really my purpose. I kneeled to God in prayer. I asked Him, "Oh God, what is really my purpose? Do you have plans for me?" Because I thought these are the things that you want for me. I was molded to the thoughts that this will be the profession that I'm going to take, that I'm going to have in the future. But then, it seemed that you're directing me in the other way. And one day, there was one teacher who approached me and asked me, "What are your plans?" And so, given that my plans will no longer happen, I looked at her and told her, "I don't know." She glared at me and told me that, why don't I consider teaching as a profession? And I looked at her blankly and I answered her in my mind, "Teaching? Do I have the qualities of being an educator? Do I have the standards?" Because as far as I know, because I thought I know myself that I'm not good with dealing with people and that I'm so shy around a large number of people. So how come I'm going to be a teacher? How come I'm going to consider that? Because all my life, I never considered teaching in my profession or as my career because of those weaknesses, weak points that I have. I always felt that I have these inabilities, that I am not capable of being an educator. And after that one approach, another approach, and so on and so forth, until I was convinced that I should consider taking education. So I kneel in prayer and ask God if I pass the exam, because I heard that entrance exam in Kolehiyo ng Sodong Lipa is not that easy. And I already have a friend who entered the school who once did not pass the exam. So I asked God, I prayed to God that if I passed this exam, I'm going to take education. And I'm going to pursue that as my career. And so I passed. And then I started my first semester, second semester, and over the course of time, I started to love the course, the degree program. I feel like I'm fitting in. I feel like I'm developing skills, I'm developing abilities to be an educator. I just need some more flourishing. I just need some more polishing. Given that I am developing and that I am slowly falling in love in the degree program, I started to envision myself. I want to be an educator that will inspire the learners. I want to be an educator that will not only help them with academics but also inspire them to be a better person, to inspire them to be the best version of themselves. And going back to Miss Ongkiko's message, I was so inspired by her message that she went to a countryside, teach there. We know that education in the countryside is really poor and that most of the kids are really poor and some have to stop because they cannot afford it, even though it's public. I started to ask myself, why don't I do my service in those remote areas, in those countryside school? Given that, I started to develop these feelings that teaching, this profession, is not only a job for me. It's not only to earn money, to provide for my family, and to provide for my needs. Teaching is also one way for me to reach out the kids, to inspire the kids, to serve the kids, the learners, to be a good citizen of the country, and that to be a better person and to help them. Because I myself, I came from a poor family, and without the help of the teachers that surrounds me, I won't be able to make it here. I can't imagine how I will look like without them. What would be my life look like if it's not because of the teachers that surrounds me back in my elementary? And I realized I keep receiving signs that I have to be in this teaching profession. First, because when I was in elementary, up until in high school, I was surrounded with a lot of educators. And my foster family are educators, both of them are educators. And the compound I'm living in are all educators. So that is already a sign. Number 2 sign that I received is, so when I took the exam, which is to determine which strand I should be taking in senior high. The result was I should take courses that are more on the courses such as teaching, agriculture, something in line with the humanities. Thinking all those signs, I realized that God has always been directing me to the profession that I can serve people, especially the learners. I feel like I had a mission to fulfill. It is to serve the learners, not only academically, but also to inspire them. We know that we have been having problems with education in the countryside, in the places where education is so poor, and teachers are actually in demand in these places. I have to also go there to serve the learners, to help them in the best way I can. And I guess it's the context that I have to address as a future teacher. I was so inspired by the message that Miss Onkiko shared in her talk.
When we strive to love, our purpose becomes clearer. We are more determined to address our context. And lastly, we continue to hope and believe because we love, our country included.
And that really struck me because I realized that the calling doesn't have to be in the profession. Your calling doesn't have to be something that you like. The calling is not something that you have been deciding all your life, because you may be keeping yourself in line with your decisions, but you will be kept redirected to the other way, which God will lead you. The calling, according to Miss Onkiko, is always to love. When you love what you are doing, that's already a calling. Because with love, everything follows. With love, you don't have to find your calling. Because with love, your calling will find you. So that's all. Thank you. Bye!